Students, I hope you are all well. Okay, students, now we will start with the course. Okay, we have already completed chapters numbers 1 to 6 that have come to your half yearly examination. From now on, we will start with the course for our PT2 and final syllabus. Okay, students, first of all, let me make some few details clear to you. From now onwards, you will have to make two copies for mathematics, one a homework copy and another one in the classwork copy. All the questions and theories and notes that we discuss in the video are to be done in your classwork copy. All the questions that I give in the homework are to be done in your homework copy in proper date wise manner. In the classwork copy you have to write daily dates. Okay, the video that you are doing, you are viewing, that video name and the date. Okay, in the homework copy you have to write down proper dates and your homework. Your homework copy will be continued from today onwards. Okay, and as we move onwards I will give you further instructions. If you have any queries regarding your homework, kindly contact me. I will also provide you written homework in the message form. Okay, that was the first thing. Second thing, only in the video I will discuss about what exercises and what questions are important or to be included for your examination purpose. Okay, I will not tolerate, I will not entertain any of your queries in which you are asking, sir, which exercise is coming, which exercise is not. See the videos regularly, see the videos that I am sending you regularly. From today onwards I will try to make them as timely as possible. Okay, but kindly see the videos regularly. In those videos only I will be telling you which exercise is coming, which exercise is not, which question is coming, which question is not. And please don't ask me about these things after some time. Okay, mark in your book, mark in your copy, whatever you do, but I will not entertain such things that which questions are coming, which questions are not, which exercise are coming, which exercise are not. As you already know, there has been a 30% reduction in the syllabus. Okay, this reduction can be increased as per the government orders. Okay, and we will go through that chapter wise. Now, the order of the chapters that we are going to take is the order as same as the Vikas sir continued. He continued serial wise the chapters. Okay, so I will take the chapter serial wise as well. There is one more thing, the chapter about construction. Until unless you have a regular class, I will not teach construction on video class. Okay, it is not quite possible to teach them in the video class because that requires a one-on-one attention. Okay, so that's all with the introductions. Now we'll start with the chapter. Chapter is chapter number 6, ratios and proportions. Okay, and further delivery of the chapter will be through English language only. If you have any problem regarding that, kindly inform me. So this is chapter number 7, ratios and proportions. Okay, so what are ratios? Okay, for two quantities of same unit, ratio is a measure of their comparison. Ratio is a measure of their comparison. See students, in order to compare any two quantities of same unit, we have two ways. In order to compare two quantities of same unit, we have two ways. First way is to subtract the quantity. In that manner, we will gather which quantity is larger and by how much. Okay, suppose we have two boys is 30 kg and 35 kg. Okay, so one way to compare the weight of two boys will be, this is weight of boy 1 and this is weight of boy. So one way to compare the weight of two boys is, you can say that boy 1 is lighter than boy 2 by 5 kg, or you can say of boy 2 is more than by 5 kg. Okay, so how do we determine this figure of 5 kg? By subtracting 35 minus 30, we got 5 kg. Okay, by subtracting both of these quantities, we got 5 kg, and by that we get the relation that boy 2 is more weighted than boy 1 by 5 kg. Okay, there is one more means by which we can compare two quantities, that is ratio. Okay, so ratio of weights will be 30 upon 35. Once you simplify it, you will get 6 upon 7. So what does this number 6 upon 7, what does this ratio 6 upon 7 means? It means that weight of boy 1 can be said as 6 upon 7 times of boy 2, or weight of boy 2 will be 7 upon 6 times boy 1. Okay, now in the first case, in which weight of boy 1 is 6 upon 7 times weight of boy 2, if you simplify more, if you divide 6 upon 7, if you divide 6 by 7, you will get some numbers in decimal, 0 point something something something. But if you divide, in the second case, weight of boy 2, if you divide 7 by 6, you will get 1 point something something something. Okay, so in this case you will get 0 point something something, in this case you will get 1 point something something. If the ratio is less than 0, or you can say if the ratio of any two numbers lie between 0 and 1. See, ratio is not a negative quantity, ratio can never be negative. Okay, so if ratio of, because any united number is never negative, if you apply the unit to a number, then it becomes a counting number, and counting numbers are always whole numbers or natural number. Okay, so if the ratio of any two numbers lie between 0 and 1, okay, let us note it down. If the ratio of any two numbers lie between 0 and 1, then the numerator is less than the denominator. Then the numerator term, I am writing NR short for numerator, numerator term is less than denominator. I am writing DR for short of denominator. In the same manner, if the ratio of any two terms is greater than 1, then numerator is more than denominator. Numerator term is more than denominator term. Okay. And you should write down one more thing. We can take ratio in any two quantities of same unit. We can only take ratios between any two quantities of same units. So, in order to determine ratio between any two numbers, first of all you should determine that both of these numbers are of same unit. Okay. If the unit is kg, then for both the numbers the unit should be kg. If the unit is milligram, then for both the numbers the unit should be milligram. Okay. Moving on, next term is equivalent ratios. Okay. So what are equivalent ratios? If the simplest form of two or more ratios is same, if the simplest form of two or more ratios is same, then they are called equivalent ratios. Then they are called equivalent ratios. Okay. If the simplest form of two or more ratios is same, then they are called equivalent ratios. Okay. So let me take a question for you so that you can understand it easily. Question is, out of following three ratios of following three ratios, which two are equivalent? Which are equivalent? Okay, so ratios are 7/14, 121/242 and 8/4. Okay, so first of all what we do is we simplify all these three ratios. First of all, for 7/14 we will simplify it as 1/2. I cut numerator and denominator by 7. For the number 121/242, we can simplify it with 11. 11s are 121, 11 2s are 22, 11 2s are 22, and then 1 and 2. So answer is again 1/2. And as for our last number, third number, 8/4, you cut it with 4, 4 ones are 4, 4 2s are 8, the answer is 2/1. So in this case, the first and second number, the simplest form is 1/2, but for the third ratio, the simplest form is 2/1. So we'll simply write down that ratios that is 7/14 and 121/242 are equivalent. Okay, and this 2/1 ratio is not equivalent to either of the pair. Okay, with this we should also try to remember one more thing, that ratio is a unitless quantity. Although you determine the ratio of any two digits, any two numbers with the same unit, ratio in itself is a unitless quantity. Is always a unit-less quantity. Okay, you should note this up. Okay, then moving on. Next is about comparison of ratios. Okay, so comparison of the ratios is similar to the comparison of the number we have done earlier. Okay, we have compared rational numbers, we have compared fractions, we have done the LCM. It's LCM of the denominator, we have added rational numbers, we have subtracted rational numbers, and on the same lines we have comparison of rational numbers. Okay, so how do we compare two ratios? How do we determine whether ratios can be compared? Okay, so with this I am going to take an example from your book. Example is on page number 128. This is the second last line of the page number 128. Example is compare 7:9 and 5:9. We have to compare two ratios, 7:9 and 5:9. In order to compare these ratios, you will write down as 7/9 and 5/9. Okay. So we have to compare these two ratios, 7/9 and 5/9. What do we do here is, first of all, since the denominators are already same, since the denominator for both the numbers are already same, so what we will do is, we will simply compare the numerators. We will see that 7 is a greater number than 5. Therefore, 7/9 ratio should be greater than 5/9. Simple. And that's all for now. And one more example, we have to compare 11/12 with 5/6. There is one more example given in the book in which you have to compare 11/12 and 5/6. So first of all, we have 11/12 and 5/6. First of all, you will determine the LCM of 12 and 6. Denominator of both the ratios, we will determine their LCM. The LCM you will get as 12. Once you get the LCM as 12, what we had the procedure, what? For 11/12, we will multiply numerator and denominator with 1 to make the denominator 12, that will be 11/12. For the number 5/6, we will multiply numerator and denominator with 2 in order to get the denominator as 12. So numerator will be 10. Now we will compare both the numbers. For 11/12 and 10/12, we have numerator of 11 more than numerator as 10. So 11/12 number is greater than, or you can say 11/12 number is greater than 5/6. Okay. So this was the theory related to the exercise. Now we'll start with the actual exercise. Exercise 7.1. Question number 1 is the simplest form of the ratio 1 day to 30 minutes. We have to determine the ratio of 1 day. Okay, first of all, for 1 day, in 1 day how many hours are there? 1 day is equals to 24 hours. In 24 hours, how many minutes will be there? 24 into 60 minutes. So this whole will be 0 as it is. 6 4s are 24, 4, 6 2s are 12, 13, 14. 1440 minutes. In 1 day you have 1400 minutes, and so the ratio will be 1 day upon 30 minutes. First of all, we make the unit same, so this will be 1440 upon 30. We'll simplify it as much we can. 3 4s are 12, 3 8s are 24. So this will be 48:1. Ratio is 48:1. Okay, all the questions that I am discussing in this video, all these MCQ type of question, you can do them in your book only. Okay, more subjective questions will be done in your class copy as I discussed with the video, and I will specify which questions you have to done in your homework copy. Next is question number 2. Question number 2 is ratio between 3 liters and 1500 milliliters. So first of all, 3 liters is equals to 3 into 1000 milliliters. Is my is it correct? What do you think? Is my changing liters to milliliters correct? Let me check it. Whenever I am not 100% sure, I check with the book. Okay. There are many times when I am incorrect. Okay. So it is better for me to check. The alternate is I give you some wrong solution. We had conversion in which chapter? Let me check with the conversion of unit was in second chapter. This was the last exercise, conversion of units. One liter is 1000 milliliter. Correct. Okay. So I was although correct, but I checked it anyhow. For you also, you should also check. Checking is very important to get a correct answer. So this will be 3000 milliliter. So our required ratio, we have to determine the ratio between 3 liters and 1500 milliliter. Okay. What we usually do is we usually change the higher decimal unit to the smaller decimal unit. Here liter is higher, milliliter is smaller, so I converted liter into milliliter. That way it is quite easy for us to find the ratios. Otherwise we might get distracted with the decimal system. This is 2/1. Okay, that is your B part. Then you have question number 3. In a class, there are 25 girls and 15 boys. Number of girls in the class is 25 and number of boys in the class is 15. So, on the basis of this information, we can clearly see total number of students. Total number of students in this class is 25 plus 15, that will be 40 students. Okay. Now the ratio between number of girls and total students. Okay. Ratio between number of girls upon total number of students. How many girls are there? There are 25 girls. How many students are there? There are total of 40 students. We simplify the numbers. 5 8s are 40, 5 5s are 25. So the ratio is 5:8. Okay. The ratio is 5:8. If we want to determine the ratio of number of boys and number of total students, we can simply do this. Number of boys upon total number of students Okay, although this is not required by the question, but I am just explaining, can be determined as this 1 minus 5/8. So this will be 3/8. And the ratio between number of boys and number of girls will be 3:5. I took the numerator from number of boys to total number of students, and numerator of number of girls and total number of students. And when they are both put on the ratio, then this is the ratio between number of boys and number of girls. Okay, this blue portion, if you do not understand it, it doesn't matter. Okay, as you move on with the higher classes, you will understand it better. Okay, I just inform you about this. If you don't get it, then it is okay too. Okay, so that's all for today's class. For the homework, you have to do question number 4. Okay, complete question number 4 in your homework copy. If you have any problem regarding question number 4, kindly inform me so that I can rectify your problem. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day.